Welcome back, Reds. Liverpool is making shockwaves in the transfer market with a huge Chiesa transfer. Plus, Arne Slot gets a major boost ahead of the Merseyside derby. Stick around for all the latest updates. I don't like what Liverpool is about to do in transfer window after Trent Alexander-Arnold news. Trent Alexander-Arnold is set to join Real Madrid at the end of the season, and his impending departure gives Liverpool even more to think about during the summer transfer window. Former Liverpool striker John Aldridge is worried about what the Reds' summer transfer window could look like after it emerged that Trent Alexander-Arnold is set to leave the club as a free agent. Alexander-Arnold's contract at Anfield is due to expire at the end of the season, and the appeal of joining Real Madrid has seemingly proved too big to turn down. Liverpool has faced criticism for allowing Alexander-Arnold's contract to run down, something which has also happened with Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk, but the Alexander-Arnold situation is arguably worse considering his age, 26, and resale value $81 million according to Transfermarkt. The Reds have barely signed anybody over the previous two transfer windows, with Federico Chiesa the only addition to the squad that Jurgen Klopp left behind last summer. That lack of activity, coupled with the prospect of Alexander-Arnold, Salah and Van Dijk all leaving for free at the end of the season, could see Liverpool requiring a whole host of new players during the summer transfer window. The Reds were already expected to be in the market for a new striker amid Darwin Núñez's expected departure, while a new left-back is also on the agenda as the club targets a long-term replacement for Andy Robertson, who turned 31 earlier this year and is enduring a difficult season. Writing in his column for the Liverpool Echo, Aldridge aired his concerns that Liverpool might end up leaving itself with too much to do during one transfer window ahead of the 2025-26 season. Liverpool are looking like they will be leaving themselves with lots to do in the transfer market this summer, Aldridge wrote. The way things are at the moment, there's going to be a lot of movement. If Trent goes, we still don't know what's going to happen with Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk's contracts. You don't want too much change. I don't like to see what Chelsea do each summer with 6, 7, or 8 new players. You can't do that. You keep tweaking it every year. But we've maybe overlooked it. Last year we didn't bring anyone in apart from Chiesa who hasn't played. This summer, how many will there be? 4? It's got to be at least 4. But if 2 or 3 of the players out of contract go, that becomes more. If any other big players go, it becomes more. We currently need a couple of players but could end up needing another 5 players coming in. It would have to be, and then it's a big ask to gel 5 players into the squad. Federico Chiesa to become Liverpool's 5th highest earner after shock transfer decision. Federico Chiesa has barely played for Liverpool this season but is still one of the club's highest earners. And he may be about to move higher up the Liverpool rich list. If Trent Alexander-Arnold's surprising switch to Real Madrid materializes, Federico Chiesa will become the 5th highest earner at Liverpool. Despite only clocking 387 minutes on the pitch since his transfer to Anfield this season, Chiesa, 27, is understood to be one of the top earners at the club. The Italian Euro 2020 champion joined the Reds last summer, becoming Arne Slot's first acquisition as manager. However, he has only managed a mere 25 minutes of Premier League action since his arrival. Yet, his weekly and annual earnings are those of a player who would typically be a regular starter in the top flight. If Alexander-Arnold does move to the Bernabeu, he will rise higher up the Merseysiders' rich list. According to Spotrac, Chiesa's salary is worth £150,000 per week, placing him as the 6th highest earner at Anfield. Only Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, Alisson Becker and Andrew Robertson pocket more than him on the red half of Merseyside. However, if Alexander-Arnold moves to the Spanish capital, Chiesa will break into the top 5 highest earners. The Italian's position on the salary ladder could climb even higher if Salah and Van Dijk also decide to follow Alexander-Arnold through the exit door when their contracts expire in the summer. Similarly to the Liverpool right-back, Van Dijk and Salah will also leave on a free transfer unless the Reds manage to tie them to new deals. Salah has been forthright with his stance on the contract talks, stating to the media in November that he is probably more out than in at Anfield. This came shortly after netting twice for Liverpool in a 3-2 win away to Southampton. While Alexander-Arnold's departure is not yet set in stone, Sky Sports News claims Real Madrid is in discussions with the player's agents. It said that Alexander-Arnold's first choice would be to sign with Carlo Ancelotti's side, despite Liverpool not yet being informed of any deal struck by the reigning Champions League victors. The born and bred Liverpudlian has risen through the ranks at Liverpool, making his senior debut in a 2-1 triumph against Tottenham Hotspur in the League Cup back in 2016. Ever since, he's been an integral part of the team's success, claiming every possible trophy under managers Jurgen Klopp and Slot. Alexander-Arnold is currently out of action due to an injury sustained during Liverpool's Champions League defeat to Paris Saint-Germain. His injury resulted in him sitting out of the League Cup final loss to Newcastle United. It also prevented him from linking up with England for Thomas Tuchel's inaugural England squad this season from his defensive position. Arne Slot gets huge injury boost ahead of Merseyside derby. Liverpool have received a welcome injury boost ahead of the Merseyside derby against Everton. The Reds take on their local rivals on April 2nd, with Arne Slot's side requiring 16 points from their final 9 Premier League matches of the season in order to wrap up their first title since 2020. The side have been flagging in recent weeks, with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Ibrahima Konate among those suffering injuries. Meanwhile, Alisson Becker and Ryan Gravenberch were both sent back to the AXA training center with injury concerns from international duty with their respective countries. But now comes the news that one key player who had been struggling for fitness is now ready to make a significant comeback for the run-in. Gakpo struggles with injury. Cody Gakpo has endured a frustrating time of it since being withdrawn against Everton with an ankle knock in February. He missed the subsequent matches against Wolves and Aston Villa in the Premier League before returning to the squad for games against Manchester City and Newcastle. The 25-year-old was also absent for the Champions League last 16 first leg against Paris Saint-Germain and the following league game against Southampton. Although the Dutchman made a return to the pitch in the second leg against PSG, as well as the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle, he did so as a substitute. Despite that period of inactivity, he was nonetheless called by Ronald Koeman for the Netherlands UEFA Nations League quarterfinals against Spain last week. Gakpo back in action. It will come as a relief to Arne Slot and Liverpool fans that Gakpo came through both encounters unscathed. Gakpo played 90 minutes of the first leg, grabbing his 15th international goal in the process, and managed well over 75 minutes of the second leg before being withdrawn as the Orange lost on penalties. And he was statistically among the Netherlands' best players during both matches, proving that he is ready to start matches for the Reds and influence games once again. Gakpo is Liverpool's second highest goal scorer this season after Mohamed Salah, scoring 16 goals in 40 games and adding 5 assists. With Liverpool facing an intense run of fixtures as the season draws to a close, Gakpo proving his fitness at a crucial time of the season comes as a huge boost to Slot. Liverpool could be about to solve 9-game problem before Everton without Arne Slot doing anything. Liverpool struggled in front of goal before the international break, but a number of Arne Slot's forwards might have just turned the corner. Liverpool have enjoyed an eye-catching season in front of goal. They are the most prolific side in the Premier League with 69 goals, 14 more than second-best Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur and 16 more than both Arsenal and Chelsea. In Mohamed Salah, they boast the runaway leader for the Premier League Golden Boot with 27 goals. The Egyptian has 32 goals in all competitions for the season, while Cody Gakpo, 16, and Luis Diaz, 13, have also recorded double figures. But that has not stopped them from facing criticism in recent weeks for newfound struggles in front of goal. Such backlash has enhanced following back-to-back defeats against Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle United as Liverpool suffered a premature Champions League exit before putting in a dismal performance in their League Cup final defeat at Wembley. They registered just 2 shots on target against the Magpies, while they were unable to threaten the scoresheet as they exited the Champions League on penalties after a 1-0 defeat at Anfield to the Parisians. From their 19 shots that night, only 3 were on target. Yet, their woes predate such losses. They came from behind to beat struggling Southampton 3-1, registering 28 shots on goal with 7 on target. But 2 of their goals came from the penalty spot. In their first leg in Paris, they won 1-0 courtesy of scoring their only shot on target in the 87th minute, having only recorded 2 shots in total. Prior to that, they hit the target only 3 times from 12 shots in their 2-0 Premier League victory over Newcastle. When beating Man City 2-0, 4 of their 8 shots hit the target. But in their previous outing, drawing 2-2 away at Aston Villa, they hit the target only 3 times from 17 attempts. They registered only 3 shots on target from 10 attempts against struggling Wolverhampton Wanderers, 2, needing another penalty from Sulla to earn a 2-1 win. And in the 2-2 draw with Everton, they hit the target 4 times from just 6 shots. So, across their last 9 matches, they have scored 15 goals from 30 shots on target. A clinical enough return even if 3 of each were penalties. But that's from their last 109 shots in total. Underperforming in front of goal against both Southampton and Aston Villa, their XG stood at 4.11 and 2.44. Their third best XG across such a run came in the narrow victory over Wolves, 1.76. They are the only times the Reds registered higher than 1.65 across their last 9 games. And against Everton, 0.65, Man City, 0.71, and PSG away, 0.27, their struggles were laid bare even more. And it is in stark contrast to their returns the month before against the likes of Tottenham Hotspur, 3.76 xG, AFC Bournemouth, 2.66 xG.